Hi, you're listening to Sam and Em Solve the World's Problems.
Big problems, casual conversations.
And we are now at episode 23.
Yeah, the final episode of season 1.
Absolutely. We were pushing for, 24 episodes?
But yeah, life is it's a little bit difficult in December and it got a little bit busy and we want to make sure our content is the content is as good as it can be. So
I thought we were going to get 10 episodes. So.
Yeah, I can't believe this is our 23rd episode. We're almost past, by the time this airs, we will be past 2,500 downloads. We've only gone up. I'm so impressed with how we've done this so far. My words are failing me a little bit, but like.
Not only that, I'm also just proud of, I'm proud of the quality of the content and I'm very proud of how much it's progressed.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the end, the quality I think is really good. So.
Well, that's actually one of the things that we're solving today. Today we're solving 2020. We're going to be talking about
everyone.
The things
you're welcome. Maybe we got to it a bit late.
We should have put this out earlier, but no, we're going to be solving a lot of our podcast problems and talking about what we've learnt in podcasting because there has been a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But then we're also going to be talking about what we've learnt personally and the lessons. I know I've had to learn some hard lessons this year. So, yeah, you're welcome.
I've learnt nothing.
Yeah, that's to be expected though, right?
Yeah, my head is empty.
And yeah, instead of recommendations today, we're going to be giving you our, what are they called?
What do you mean?
The things that we're doing.
Oh, New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolutions.
We're in a good state of mind for this.
We recorded a very exciting episode this morning, which we cannot tell you about, but stay tuned for season 2. Are we dropping that yet? Are we dropping that?
Are we going to do season 2? Should we do season 2?
I feel like we should. We've recorded a pretty exciting episode, so.
Nah, we'll see. We'll see if people get amongst it, get around it. I don't know.
If we can get 100 more followers on Instagram,
yeah,
we will release season 2. Then we'll
consider releasing season 2.
And let me just say, we have some amazing content already for you lined up for season 2, so you want it.
Yeah, no, I am excited. We're coming off the back of recording something special. So,
probably the peak of our entire podcasting career.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So we won't give too much of that more away, and I think a lot of people can guess what. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, so we're going to be talking about our New Year's resolutions. And yeah, maybe we should just roll straight into it. This has been a really long intro.
Oh, is this really Yeah, my New Year's resolution.
No. We're doing it in place of recommendations.
You are.
Yes, and so are you. So please welcome to the podcast, us. The best guests we've had so far.
Oh my God, I love these guys. Whenever these guys are on the podcast, I just...
I can't do it live. Problem number 1 is all about what we've learnt podcasting. We have learnt a lot of things the hard way.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway so far, Sam?
Honestly, I think it's still going to be like the biggest number 1 takeaway is just starting it. Because you're always nervous about, you release it into the world, right? And so the very first episode, you could go back and listen to that very first episode and
it was 6 months ago and I already don't want you to listen to it.
I want to archive it. But I feel like it's cool to keep it up just so that people can see how much we've grown, not just as people, but
even our audio quality, our confidence, our everything.
Yeah, just being able to sit in the room, we've got microphones and headphones and stuff in our face and it's, I'm probably a little too comfortable. So the content may get worse after it got better, but no, I don't know. I'm very proud of how far the quality of the podcast has come.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from the podcast so far is to duplicate your files.
Oh my God.
And that comes from a few episodes that we recorded and I lost or I ruined in the editing process.
It's surprising how many times it can happen in different ways because there were a few lessons learnt around that.
Yeah. There was one episode that I don't know how. And let me preface this by saying I've never done audio editing before. I've edited some short films for uni and stuff, but I've never done audio specific editing and I've never worked with Audition before, which is the platform that we use to edit now. But also we weren't using Audition at the beginning of the season. So even our editing process has changed. But I had to learn a few things like audition files are
Raw.
And when I'm editing the raw file. And so when I make changes that I then want to undo, I can't undo them.
I can't.
So I have had to learn to duplicate our files for those moments when I do things that I regret. Like one time I accidentally took a frequency out of Sam's audio.
Yeah, my voice.
That he talked in. And therefore there was just a frequency missing every time he spoke. And so half of what he was saying was missing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get that back. I think that episode is up still live.
Yeah, it is. We always have multiple recordings as well, just in case anything like that ever happens. And whenever we have a guest on, we're always like, okay, can you record here, send us all the recordings. And then, there's so many backups.
Yeah, but at that point, we didn't have backups for ourselves. We just had the one file. So yeah, I learned to duplicate files and to have backups and okay, here's one lesson that I haven't learned yet that I know that I need to learn before it becomes a problem, which is to back up the files onto a hard drive and not just leave them on my computer. I know that's going to be an issue someday, and yet I'm not ready to deal with it.
Until it becomes a problem. Oh my God.
I know it's going to be an issue.
I have a spare hard drive, I think, lying around.
I have
I'll
one
just give
too.
You one. Okay, yeah.
It's just that I'm lazy.
Whew. Yeah.
But yeah.
But I feel like I didn't fully circle back to my point of what, because I mentioned I was proud of how far we've come content-wise, but I think the biggest takeaway is you should just start the project that, quality, you're always going to learn from the beginning. Like the quality is never going to be as good at the beginning, but unless you start putting it out.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not going to get better at it. So, I mean, having the accountability of an audience as well was great. It was terrifying, but I'm really glad that we got over that first hurdle of
actually just doing it.
Yeah, just sit down, record the episode, no matter how giggly and whatever we are on that very first episode.
Yeah, because that first episode we were quite nervous.
We didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
We started out all right. We had a structure. We had, but anyway.
But even we halfway through season 1, we sat down and were like, okay, does our name actually work for the concept? Like our concept has evolved and changed.
There were so many doubts.
And it's been refined into what it is now, which is, that we're solving the problems that matter to people in their 20s, basically.
Yeah. Oh my God. Some episodes we can't even think of the title because we have to talk about this.
So we dug ourselves a bit of a hole, and yet it's a hole I'm willing to die in.
We dug ourselves a grave, and they're good graves. So the format of our titles, in that we always say like we're solving a problem, has in the nature of the fact that it's facetious and it is kind of a joke. Like the title is a joke. The title of the podcast is pure. I was going to say facetious.
No,
I can't be word. No, but it is. That's the whole thing. It's facetious. We're obviously not solving all the world's problems.
Yeah, like the feminism episode. We obviously are not solving feminism.
But when you make the title, you go, Sam and M solve feminism. Like, can that be misconstrued? Can we post this? Do we need to acknowledge it? Like, oh my God, we have so many doubts even when we're just making the titles of episodes. It's
yet I don't know what else we would do, because I really we're solving problems. That's our whole concept. That's our podcast name. Yeah. So we should solve problems in our episode titles, right? It's just a bit, we're still learning. And we're still getting comfortable with this sort of stuff. Yeah.
The whole process has been kind of like an analogous to deciding the title. There've been so many decisions we've had to make.
And we've had a few conversations about them, to put it lightly.
Yeah. There have been conversations.
Yes, but okay. One of the things I'm actually most proud of is that we together have done a good job.
We're still here.
We're still friends. We're still doing it. We both are excited for season 2.
If it happens.
But no, I'm very proud of us for being able to do it together and not hate each other.
Yeah.
You
know what else? I don't know if anyone knows how much time it takes. It's really time. It's like
I didn't know how much it was going to take.
Oh my God. I mean, and I think the average number of podcasts episodes per of all the podcasts that exist, the average number is 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Total. So the fact that we're at episode 23 means that we've overcome that hurdle of, we're still going. We have a structure and a format that's working, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, I want to say a big thank you to the listeners as well.
Oh my goodness.
The fact that it's been so overwhelming, and it's been honestly shocking to know that we have like a real, there's a lot of loyal listeners out there. So thank you for listening to our podcast every week.
Yeah.
It means the world to us.
I just want to say, if you listen to us and you don't actually know us, please reach out to us. We want to, I don't know. It's very special to think that there's people out there who may not know us. I know that a lot of our friends and family listen, which again, so grateful that you guys have stuck around, because, we're 23 episodes in, the point where, you would have supported us for a second and then dropped off because the content wasn't interesting. That has gone. Yeah. That has been in past, and you're all still here. I'm so grateful for all of the people who know us and support us, but also, if you don't know us, reach out to us, because we are so grateful to you, and we want to get to know you a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And yes. What's been really interesting to me is no matter the guest who comes on, it's funny watching. It's almost like going back and looking at ourselves from the first episode, because a lot of the time we'll speak to people who speak in front of thousands of people, and they're nervous to start it's always a nerve-wracking experience. And I hope that we don't seem dismissive when I'm just trying to make them feel comfortable. Yeah. But dealing with guests has been really interesting. Can we talk about that? Yeah, it's been kind of a shock. I don't know, when I see how nervous they are, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not that nervous anymore. I don't know. I forget that it's a big deal, and it just seems
we're kind of a big deal.
Proud of how comfortable we are. Shut up. I'm proud of how comfortable we are with it now. I'm very proud of the guests that we've had on. I know that we kind of knew this of ourselves already because of the fact that we've done camps and morning shows and stuff, but I'm really proud that we've been able to hopefully make people feel comfortable enough to share, and we've gotten some pretty raw stuff from people. Parker's episode particularly comes to mind. I'm so grateful he felt willing to share all of that, because that's an episode I will never forget. I really appreciated that one.
Yeah, that was awesome. And it's funny how it's often the guests that you don't expect will share a really vulnerable part of themselves with you, and you're and that's kind of half the reason we do this podcast. I love hearing people's stories, and that love hearing them open up.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the essence of this podcast. Is we like having these kind of conversations with people, and it feels like we should share them. I feel a bit called to share these conversations. I don't know if it's those camp kind of conversations, the ones where people can feel open and vulnerable and just feel comfortable to be themselves, is exactly what we are trying to go for. And I think we've kind of done that.
Yeah. A barrier is always, obviously, putting a microphone in front of someone makes it difficult to get past that. It happens all the time. The episode with our mums even, getting them, sitting with them and chatting with them with microphones. Emily will finish the edit of an episode and then send it to the guest before we release and be like, are you okay with everything that you said? We need to make sure that they're comfortable.
Because also there's nothing worse than saying something that you regret, it's going out to people, and I want to be as comfortable as I can be with it, and I have the liberty of editing them, so I can take out anything I'm not comfortable with. Yeah. So I want the guests to be able to do the same and feel like what they're putting out is their best work and their best foot forward. And I also, I'm glad that we're sharing that kind of information, because I don't know, you don't hear a lot of podcasts that talk about the ins and outs of podcasting, or at least maybe I haven't found them.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I think I don't know if anybody else thinks that's interesting, but Yeah,
now whenever I listen to podcasts too, I'm like, oh, I heard that. Someone was cut there.
Yeah. Well, I found, and I mean this in the most polite way possible, but I have never paid attention to the way that people speak more, because now I just sit there for 3 hours each week editing an episode, listening to one person talk, and I've never picked up on as many ums or pauses in speech, just in my everyday life now. I just hear them. So that's been fun.
Listening back to our own conversations as well. After you go through the whole edit and then I listen to the whole conversation again, It's like, first of all, that's time consuming.
Yeah. But also, I wonder if it's a mark of the quality that when I edit them, I'm laughing. Like, I enjoy editing them because I enjoy listening back to the conversation. And I'm almost always just sitting there like chuckling to myself at us.
Oh, that's good. That's how
Is
you
that
know.
a vein? Yeah, is that vain? I don't know.
100% that's vain, but no.
Well, I asked Will. I remember asking Will. I was like, I don't hate listening to the sound of my own voice. I know everybody says that. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
So
but
at the beginning of the podcast, I detested it.
Yeah.
But as it's gone on and I've gotten used to having to listen back to it, it's like this level of acceptance now that that's just who I sound like. Like, that's just me. Like,
yeah.
So now I don't anymore.
My favorite part of editing the podcast is when you do your laugh, and I just sometimes I hover over it and I just go backwards and forwards over your laughing, because sometimes you sound like an evil genius and sometimes you sound like a weird ghost, and it's just fun. Maybe I'll make a TikTok version of your laugh, just a compilation.
Okay. Yep.
Maybe
I'll sounds like a big effort.
Get this out and see what I can come up with. I hope we do what it feels like we're doing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, please get back to us.
But also, again, we can't handle the haters, so.
Yeah, I'm not emotionally. No, please send your hate in a PO box.
Yeah, send it in. If you're gonna send us hate mail, we request it comes by actual pen and paper.
Yeah, because at least then I know that you really mean what you're saying, and it will definitely get to me. Like, that's how you want to get to me if you're going to hate me.
Yeah, because it's a lot more effort that
it takes a lot of effort to like pull out a piece of paper, write a formal letter being like, you suck. I really despise and detest all the work that you're doing here. I think that I'm writing my own hate mail.
I'll write you hate mail if that will help.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I have a lot to say. I'm kind of kidding. Anyway, it was interesting. We actually had a listener send us a DM saying like, oh, my husband or partner and his friends are starting a podcast. Do you have any tips? And I was like, yes. And I remember writing a full list being like, this is the platform that we use to promote. This is the this and this is the this. And you should schedule your posts and you should get this audio interface and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Oh my God, the audio interface.
Our number one fan.
Pride and joy.
Yeah.
That was the biggest decision that we had to make, because that was the biggest money investment I think we sunk into the podcast as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most worthwhile thing that we've done.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's always like, you know, you got to get the best microphone or whatever. We ended up going a different route and we were like, we already have all these live mics.
But that's also because of who we are. Like, we both of our families are musical. We're both pretty musical. We already had, what kind of, are these condensers?
No, these aren't condensers.
Oh, these are dynamic.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Dynamic mics already.
Which and so we just had to buy normal live
the ones that you see
your
favorite singer using. Yeah. So we just got an audio interface that meant that we could record straight into Audition, edit from there, control our volume levels. I know that, like, I've seen a lot of my favorite podcasters have different versions of it and they have like weird colorful buttons, and I want that, but this is perfect for what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if anyone's been listening from relatively early on, you can hear the difference. You could probably hear the exact episode we switched to using these mics. Or
even like there's been 2 episodes that we've recorded this season that we've been able to have the guests in the room with us. And I think even those episodes made such a difference.
The one with Gravy Boat.
Yeah. That was a great one. The one with Gravy Boat, the one with our mums, they've been the ones that we've been able to record in person, and I feel like the quality difference.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And it's crazy because like I'll listen to some of my other favorite podcasts, and whenever they have even a guest or someone who's using a crappy mic, it really pisses me off. I just I really want to listen to the episode, but I just can't get through it. And it's devastating because it could be the best quality like of the actual content. It's not the most important thing, but it just makes me really happy. Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a lot of learning in this season. A lot still to come, I'm sure. Can't wait to learn the lesson of backing up our files.
That's good. It's coming, isn't it? Like, we're going to learn the hard way.
I think maybe we should move on to what we've personally learnt in 2020, because
You have a bit there?
It's been a rough one. And there's been a lot of learning.
It's been a big year. Yeah. Did you want to start us off with that? Like, what's been a big takeaway for you?
I think the biggest thing I've learnt this year is that I need to just take it easier on myself and not be so hard and give myself a little bit more slack and just, I update for anybody who cares. I got the implant, the contraceptive implant in March this year. Mm-hmm. And for a while it was going really well. It was working for the things that I needed it to work for. But in sort of July-ish, I started getting overwhelmingly anxious to the point where I couldn't manage it at all. And I knew that I needed to get help. So I started seeing a psychologist. Even a couple more months into that, I realized I started getting depressed and my mood swings were crazy. Like I was just crying all the time. And I was I couldn't feel an emotion just half. I couldn't just be just a little bit bummed that day for a reason. I had to be sad and depressed and crying. There was no in between. I couldn't just be a little bit nervous about something. I would be fully anxious about it. And there just was no in between at all for anything. And I remember getting it in. When I got the implant in, I said to Will, if you notice any mood swings with me, can you let me know? Because it's hard to tell when you're in it because it's not, it feels so real. And obviously it is real. You're actually feeling these all emotions, but someone removed from it can see that that's not how you normally act. So it got to about August, September, October-ish. I can't even remember. Maybe September. Let's go September. And Will kind of said hey, you asked me to tell you if I thought that you were getting sort of mood swings. And just to let you know, I think that maybe all this stuff that you're going through is it might be because of the implant. I've kind of noticed the change happened around then. Mm-hmm. So, just so that you're aware. And so I was seeing a psychologist kind of weekly at that point because I almost couldn't get through a week. It was so bad for a while there.
I remember you telling me at one point, there's the psychologist, I think you weren't, what was the frequency before that? It was bi-weekly, every 2 weeks or something. And I remember you exited the psychologist one day or something. And you told me afterwards, you're the psychologist was yeah, we're going to need you to come back next week maybe instead of in 2 weeks.
Well, because I've seen a psychologist before. In 2017, something like that, both of my grandfathers died within 6 months of each other. And I remember having a hard time with grief. So I was seeing her then. And so I came back to her this year. And when I was going through grief stuff, it was kind of every 2.5, 3 weeks that I would need an appointment just to sort of deal with some stuff, but it wasn't anything pressing really that I needed to see. And it was at a point, there was 3 weeks that I saw her 3 weeks in a row because I couldn't, she was I don't want you to go a week without seeing me. I think you need to come back. And anyway, long story short, I got the implant out 3 weeks ago and I am feeling so much better already. And wow. I love that. And I'm so grateful, but I'm very aware that, I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to experience these harder emotions. And I don't know, I remember saying on an episode, I'm not really a depression person. And I still kind of stick by that because I'm very lucky in that I don't have a lot of negative self-talk and I don't have, it's just kind of the way that I am. I don't tend to be sad and depressed really just in my everyday life. I get a lot more anxious than I do sad. But this was a whole new thing and I'm very grateful to have been able to experience that and kind of know what that feels like so that I can, I don't know, just have that experience on board in my life. And it has taught, I really had to learn to stop being so hard on myself. And I would get sad about something and I would just get mad at myself because I was there is no reason to be sad about this. There is no reason to be this anxious. You need to just get over it. And I don't know, that is no way to talk to yourself. That's no way to talk to a person, your friend. That's no way to talk to yourself. And I just had to learn, okay, you're sad. Let's deal with it. Let's move on. Let's sit in it and don't be so hard on yourself. People get sad. It's been the roughest year ever. We went through a pandemic. I lost my jobs. Uni has been so difficult. My dad went away for 5 months. It's been a rough year and it's okay. Yeah. Take it easy on yourself. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was something that has come up for me a lot in the podcast episodes as well. Just it was nice to have talked to so many different people and get reminded of that over and over again. And yeah, that's a very long explanation of that lesson, but hopefully I don't know.
It might help someone else as well.
Yeah.
Who's going through it because,
also, contraception sucks. And if you're sad, talk about other options, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
Similar vein, I think. I don't know. This has been one of the bigger projects of the year.
Yeah.
For me as well. And it's been so cool to learn so much from so many amazing people along the way. Even from the very beginning. Like, I think doing that episode with Annie first. By the way, does our audience know that we recorded a whole episode with Annie and then had to re-record it?
Yeah. I don't know if you do, but that was
the biggest probably.
Yeah, because we talked for close to 3 hours.
She was our very, very first interview.
Yeah.
And we had such meaningful conversation and we didn't know how to stop or how to direct it.
And then it just got to a point where there was so much good content that we couldn't condense it down.
Yeah, but it was also a quality issue, I remember. Like some of the mics just
your mic sucked.
My mic, yeah.
Which is why we got the interface to begin with, because your mic dropped in and out all the time.
Frustrating, yeah. We had some technical issues there. And so it was a combination of content control and quality control with the actual gear itself. And we're like, hey, Annie, look, can we please have this conversation again? And so we got to talk to Annie again. So anyway, neither of us were mad about it, but yeah. So, I mean, that conversation in particular about turning certain aspects of your life up that you want to progress in or that you're, make that brings more joy and stuff like that. And also that conversation around, which I think also might have been an Annie conversation around, vegetarianism and veganism and stuff of you don't have to do 100% of certain things, kind of like picking your battles is kind of what I took from that and I learned from that. And I think that that's helped me, be okay with where I'm at in life right now. In that, like, I'm not constantly like, I wish I was here. I should have been here by now. I should have been doing all that by now. It's like, no, it's okay to like be where you are at, like be comfortable with that and then just enjoy where you're at. I don't know how I made that connection to the veganism, vegetarianism stuff, but
we've had a lot of similar messages though. Even when we talked to our mums last week, that the kind of message that came through was just be where you are, prepare yourself, take your opportunities, but there's nothing wrong with being where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there was a thing, we just had a pub feed before this episode. And I was saying I think it was like a TikTok of someone said something like, it just really resonated with me. They were like, reconciling with a bad experience is a good experience. And then the opposite of that is also expecting a good experience or like planning a good experience
can be a bad experience.
Yeah, can be a bad experience. Like, or usually is, but like if you don't get that experience, like not having a good experience is a bad experience. So if you're constantly framing or perceiving the world as
that's going to be good, that's going to be bad.
Well, just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not having that good experience. I'm not having that good experience. That perceiving it like that is a bad experience. Like, because comparatively, relatively. So, yeah, chill the fuck out.
Which I guess is I know that we've said our main idea for the podcast was to try and have, meaningful conversations with people. But I think one of the driving forces behind that is to really send home the message that everybody has problems. Like even, the
Alf
most
episode.
Yeah, that episode meant so much to me. Like, hearing someone that I look up to, Alfredo, just talk about his own problems and his own struggles. And, we're all kind of going through this mess together, especially this year. Like, it just felt so necessary to talk to people and to really connect with them and, I don't know, make people see that it's okay. I don't know. I want to say it's okay to not be okay. I mean that, but I also just mean like, if you're struggling and not knowing where you are in life or not knowing what you want to do with your life, same. Like everybody, like we all have stuff,
And hearing that like Alf was like, same, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, gosh, damn. Like I thought you,
I feel
of all
stuck.
people,
like
look like, man, you just have it all figured out. Like you look like you have the best life. I look up to you and everything that you're doing. I'm just like, damn. Like it's not, at the time I think I joked about how like, nothing gets better from here.
Yeah.
But it's not really that. I think it's more about accepting, and just appreciating, I think, where you're at, because there's a lot of good things going on. I mean, being able to start up this podcast, has been super positive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've had to learn to appreciate being not stuck at home, but getting more time to myself this year.
Yeah.
We've
been very lucky to have had this outlet. And I know for me, it's been a really important outlet in talking about the things that matter to me. Like, I've felt kind of stuck on issues like Black Lives Matter and all those different things. I felt like, how can I possibly make a difference? And I hope that this podcast and facilitating conversations like we did with Anvadar, or, we hope to in the future. We've got some plans to have more conversations around that topic. I feel like, for me personally, it's been a really good outlet to...
Because I have so much to learn about that too. So I would love... Yeah, we have plans around that. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I think one of the best things for me, and hopefully for you too, Sam, this year has been this podcast, in both what it's made us learn and be more confident as people, but just... Oh,
how do you get over... So this is kind of like taking the conversation a different direction, but how do you... when you're in public or something and people bring up the podcast, because this happens frequently, I mean, everyone started a podcast this year.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I'm always like, people are like, what are you doing in the time? I'm like, oh, nothing, man. I'm proud of the podcast too, but I just I don't know.
I mean, I had literally yesterday, there's a bunch of new people at work, and we were all going around in a circle, saying what we do. And I said I was a student, and I said I work here, and I was like, do I say that I have a podcast? And I didn't. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I just thought it was I don't know. I'm super proud of it, and I want people to hear about it, and I would love for more people to listen to it, but it still feels weird to mention it,
Yeah, because it's that thing that everyone has tried to, everyone's done it. And it's
well, not even, it's just
another...
I don't want... It's more for me, it's I don't want people to think I'm only telling them about it because I want them to listen. I want them to listen, but I want them to listen because they want to listen. I don't take offense at all if people don't want to listen. Yeah. The other thing that really I find kind of funny, and I don't know if we'll keep this in because I don't want to offend anybody, but all of our friends, right? Every time I see them, they're like, oh, sorry, I'm not up to date with the most recent episode.
Yeah.
I'm like,
who cares?
I am so grateful that you listen at all. You don't have to apologize for not being up to date. You don't have to listen at all if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's your choice.
We put out episodes every week, and they're going to appeal to different people. If you see the title and the show notes or whatever, and you're like, that's not for me, don't listen to that episode then.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it means the world to us when you do listen, though, because I've had so many good conversations after having conversations on this podcast, and they're like, people bring something up I never thought about that before, and it was so cool that you talked about that. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's still really cool when people bring it up outside.
But I just find it...
But it also can be really embarrassing.
It's just weird.
But at the end of the day, this is something I get joy out of. So, I mean... Yeah. YOLO.
Very true. Yes.
Literally YOLO.
I back that.
I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm not gonna be embarrassed about it. That's dumb. Yeah.
Okay. So in place of our usual recommendations today, I thought it might be fun to do some New Year's resolutions. And
originally I was like, man, I hate New Year's resolutions.
But I love New Year's resolutions.
But no, I've come to the idea of them more. I think I hated them because of the fact that everyone sets these unrealistic goals. And I'm like, this is so dumb. I'm just not even going to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
But then, I mean, that's a dumb reason to hate that. I'm like, just set a realistic goal and then it's fine. I don't have to hate it because other people... Why? Anyway.
I've loved New Year's resolutions for a few years now, and I remember exactly why, but I have no idea who said this, but I knew someone once, and I don't know who it was, but they were telling me that their mum always has really interesting New Year's resolutions, and by interesting I mean one year it was this year I'm going to learn more about volcanoes. And so that her resolution for that year was literally like she got a few books in the library. She used to do like research. She just like wanted to learn more about volcanoes. A year before that, it was I want to make spaghetti bolognese. I want to be really good at making spaghetti bolognese. And so for like 6 months, they ate spaghetti bolognese like twice a week because she was like, this is my goal. I want to really get good at spaghetti bolognese. And so I tend to have goals that are similarly in that vein. Like not last year, maybe last year, my goal was to actually be able to make chicken noodle soup by myself. And I don't know if we've touched on it here, but I am the world's worst cook. And I don't experiment with foods that could poison you, like chicken, because I'm too scared that I will undercook it or
she'll turn it into carbon.
Yeah. But I got really close. The only reason I didn't meet that goal is because I decided to go vegetarian halfway through the year.
It's always a highlight from my week. I just don't want to go past the fact that you're a terrible cook because it's a highlight of my week whenever I get a Snapchat from Em and it's like...
I thought I was past it and then I tried to make pancakes like a month ago and they were black.
She sent me like a Snapchat of the oven and the oven has been like broken down or something. It's just got like
the other
charcoal oozing from it.
Is that we've moved house a lot and I will finally get used to an oven and then we move and then I have to relearn how an oven works. And ovens are different, okay? They are. They just are. And
No, it's hard.
It is. Anyway.
You just got to, there's like 2 whole dials you got to relearn.
Shut up. My New Year's resolution for this year, 2020, was to read 4 books. And I made it really small and manageable because I thought with uni and with all that, I thought 2020 was going to be normal, right? So I thought with uni, with work, with everything like that, I normally work 2 jobs. I was just not going to have much time to read. And so I thought 4 books in a year, that's really doable. Well, I'm up to 15 or 16, I think, that I've finished this year, which I'm so proud of. And I am back into reading and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm hoping to try to get a few more done by the end of the year. But yeah, I'm not a stickler for New Year's resolutions like, I don't know, lose weight or become a better person. Like, I don't know. But I like fun things like read more books or learn how to make chicken noodle soup or...
Well, I like that you set like read 4 books.
Yeah.
Because that's like it's quantitative.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good goal to set.
Yeah. I'm a bit stumped actually on what my resolution should be next year. Mostly because I just don't really know where the world is going to be. Like,
yeah, and that comes into my New Year's resolution. I think it might have been 2 or 3 years ago, but I said it every year, is just go to more live music gigs because that's something that I really enjoy doing. It's something I can do with my friends. And this year that sucked. Recently been refunded for my tickets to go see Bon Iver.
And if you've heard Sam's recommendations, they're almost always Bon Iver related. So,
and sometimes they're just bands that sound like Bon Iver.
Yep.
So that was hella devastating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love for my New Year's resolution next year to be something along those lines, but depending on how the world is, I might have to change it up.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards and I know that there's a lot of people out there who want this to happen, aka my parents. But I'm leaning towards making it maybe like my New Year's resolution is to play the piano. I don't know that I can commit to once a week, but maybe like record a song once a month or something. I don't know, but I want it to be something that really makes me happy, and that just feels kind of like a chore, Yeah,
if it's going to be a chore, I think it's, yeah.
So I don't know. But I don't want it to be health and fitness related. Like, I want it to be fun.
Health and fitness can be fun. I think that's the whole thing. Is it's finding and phrasing a goal that is gonna be like. That's why the gig thing was so good because I felt like by setting that goal, I'd never felt bad about buying tickets to a gig.
Yeah,
because it was like, no, this is a priority for me now. I set that priority, and I'm gonna not feel bad about spending $50 here, even though I need to be saving money or something.
But health and fitness is already something that I have goals in.
Yeah.
Like reading a book or making a dish is. It feels separate to my everyday responsibilities and commitments.
You still have to buy books, right? Like that's still a detractor and it can still be like, it can be a hassle as well. I don't know. Yeah. So I feel like.
I really wish I had a definitive New Year's resolution to put here so that I stick to it, but I have a month left to figure it out and I will definitely have one by the time New Year's comes around. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be yet though. Maybe it's podcast related, to be honest with you. this is really a passion project, and maybe it's a goal of where we're at next year, or the amount of time I can dedicate, or something like that.
Yeah. I think you said something about music. I'm like, man, that's something I really want to get back into. I miss that part of myself.
But I know that if I put a restriction on it, I won't want to do it. So that's why I don't want to make music my goal, because if I say I need to play piano once a week, I won't want to do it.
No, so that, I mean, phrasing it that way is like a chore. So
yeah,
I feel like just up the dial on it, right? Like,
yeah. But I need like quantity. Like I need a 4 book, you know, like.
Well, why not play the piano 4 times in a year? I feel like you'll smash that, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So easy. Like,
or
if
maybe
you
like
set it
learn
really
4
low.
new songs this year or something.
Oh, that's a better way to do it.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Maybe I'll come back when this is posted. When this episode goes live, maybe we can make a post about what our New Year's resolutions are.
That's a good idea.
Because, yeah, they should be fun.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point in, 100%.
Because also, the thing with health and fitness is that, I don't know, your goals change throughout the year.
But
as you reach one, it changes. Like, I don't know, I want something that's year long, that's fun, that's unrelated to my personal sense of worth as well. You know, like, I know that if I don't read 4 books, I am still the same person and I'm fine. Whereas there's a lot more sense of identity and worth tied up in health and fitness and body, and I want it to be detached from my personality.
Wait, shouldn't it be detached? Shouldn't health and fitness be detached from your personality
it should,
anyway?
But it currently isn't. So I am aware of that.
Okay. And we're working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I feel like your physical appearance is really hard to detach from.
Yeah.
Is that necessary? I feel like it is a part of your identity.
It is.
The way you...
But I don't know.
Probably doesn't
This is a
need
whole
to
new
be-
episode.
Yeah, it's like all that ego and stuff. We need to talk to a psychologist again.
Which
Again?
we're working on.
No, I'm kidding.
This is the final episode of season 1, which means we are going on a little break.
Yeah, true.
We'll
be back in 7 to 10 business years.
We are coming back, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because we haven't announced that. I don't know how to say this.
No, yeah, we're planning on coming back. I think eventually, yeah, we're going to go on a little break.
Just have Christmas period off. It's been a rough year, so I know we both need to recharge a little bit.
I'm falling asleep right now.
And reset, for the new year, to bring you some better to bring you some new content.
It's always going to be better.
Yeah. We have some good plans underway. So this time off we will definitely be using to get a little bit of that started, but also just to switch off, enjoy our holidays, enjoy our time with our families. So yeah, I think that's going to be about 3 weeks.
You know, my favorite thing, my favorite content when people post online is always like, guys, so sorry I haven't been posting. I'm always like, why'd you post this? I don't care. Like, anyway.
I mostly don't even notice, to be honest.
Exactly. Like, so yeah, we're taking a break. You'll see us when you see us. Fuck up. No, I'm kidding.
My face was so dramatic just then.
Yeah, you're like, you guys are like, no.
But also, we can say fuck off.
Yeah.
But don't. Stay with us, please.
Yeah. Don't touch that dial. I don't care. Go listen to other podcasts in the meantime. There's heaps of podcasts.
Comment about us on other podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. We need oh, my God. What do they call it? It's like
be
the
a
BTS
trader.
army. No, the Sam and M army.
Yeah.
Go fill other people's podcasts.
With us.
Yeah.
But seriously, we need to get better at this. But if you like our content, if you like us, please follow us on Instagram or tell your friends.
At the moment, we use Instagram primarily to interact.
Yeah. It's where we get our listener questions. It's where we interact with you guys the most.
We love getting DMs from you guys.
Yes.
Never stop, please.
So if you have content that you want to see next year that you haven't heard yet, or if there's problems that you think that we should solve, DM us. Let us know. We want 100%. Your impact. We still have a lot of planning to do for a potential season 2. So we're really interested in what you guys want to hear about. By the time this episode goes live as well, I think maybe on the day that it goes live, we will have a poll or 2 up on our Instagram story. If you could go there and fill it in. We just kind of want to get a little bit of feedback from you guys on what you're interested in when you listen. We want to make season 2 if it happens. I'm trying to hint at that and not say it outright, and I'm not doing a very good job. but we want to make future seasons even better for you. So the more you guys interact with us and let us know what you want, the more we can do that for you.
Yeah, for sure. No, we just want to make the best quality content that we can.
Also, I've just remembered. Do you remember when we recorded season 1, episode 1, and we were like, okay, so like in 4 weeks' time when we have listeners, maybe they'll send in listener questions.
Yes.
And now we get listener questions like regularly for each episode. So that is a nice little moment for us.
When we ask for them on time, we'll be like in the middle of recording an episode, we should post something, and then obviously like we're not going to get them in time.
We're doing better than that,
but
though.
sometimes we get listener questions mid-episode.
Yeah, also if we haven't answered your listener questions, I'm very sorry. It's only because they didn't get in time. We try to answer them all if we see them and we check them. But yeah, if you've submitted them afterwards because we didn't put it up till late, I'm very sorry. Maybe, maybe we'll make some TikToks about them though.
It is mostly because of who we are as people.
It is completely because of who we are as people, but we're working on it.
Yeah, not very hard.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, Sam. I'm quoting myself.
Oh yeah, Emily, please.
Thank you so much for sticking with us this season. We are so grateful to you all for listening.
Yeah, for real.
For supporting us.
Yeah, absolutely. The support's been unreal. For the people particularly who bought our hoodies.
Oh my goodness.
Extra special thank you to that because that allows us to continue. Like it's actually, there's been a few expenses involved with this podcast too. So
yeah, it's more time consuming and more expensive than one might assume. So yeah, thank you for sticking with us, for listening. We hope that you stick around and are psyched up for potential season 2.
We'll see what happens. No, we're really excited and we have a lot of ideas and we hope to see you in the new year.
Yeah. Have a great Christmas, holiday season if Christmas isn't your thing. New Year's. I hope you all stay safe and we send out 2020 with a bang.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can subscribe, leave us a review, follow us on Instagram, show us where you're listening by posting and tagging us on Instagram. We also have a Patreon account and you can subscribe there and support us if you'd like.
Also, the music is by The Vinyl Press and you can find them on Instagram at The Vinyl Press.
Yeah, and send us any problems that you have. We want to solve them for you.
Woo!